We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs.
Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. Today we are in a freestyle mood. We are recapping U20s, and then we're going to build to some great senior level freestyle that everyone's been asking for.
Hey, I love that world team.
As we get to wrap up the freestyle season and move into the folk style season, we're just going to recap a few more things and be on the lookout for our Who's Number One preview and maybe some Super 32 stuff.
Ooh, oh,
yeah.
ew.
Coming
soon.
So for those of you guys that follow, I love freestyle. I prefer folk style because I actually do it. But I love anytime Team USA can beat Team anybody else. So I get rowdy for the Olympics, for Worlds. I go bananas. I, wear my American flag hat and paint my chest and, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Greco prelims that I don't particularly love.
Greco pre. Hey, Kamal Bay will appreciate that.
Gotta support. But anyway, Team USA put together a historic performance for U20s. 9 total medals out of 10 weight classes.
Is this their best team ever?
I think it is the best team that featured Russia. Because I believe there's been other years where we had 9 medals but higher placings. But I think that those years Russia was not in. So I believe this is our best year with nobody, because Iran and Russia were both there.
Yes, but were their refs paid off at the other ones as well?
Good question. I actually think we underperformed a little bit based on, in some ways. Some guys overperformed, some guys under. I expected a few more golds. We had 5 finalists, which was awesome.
Yeah, you had a lot of
them. 4 of them took silver, only 1 gold, and then 4 more bronze. Beat Russia by 15. Beat Iran by 15 points, Russia by 48. What a dominant day to win the title for a men's freestyle.
You did call it for Luke Liall.
Yeah, Lightning Luke, baby. So love Luke Liall. What a bracket he had. Because I was talking about this with Mike and Jack and Eamon, another Cactus loyal supporter. Seen him in a few videos. But Luke Liall goes 4 for 4 in 4 seasons, 4-time world finalist. So he goes U17 silver, next year U17 gold. Last year U20 silver, this year U20 gold. He had, I'm going to see if I can find just who he beat because I was writing it down. I was like, man, his guys were tough.
Yeah, you were saying he beat the number 9 on the world rankings in senior.
Yeah, so Luke in the semis beat the guy Marcus Blaze beat in last year's Worlds in the finals by the same exact score, which I thought was pretty funny. His next match, I believe it was his finals. I might have their order reversed, so don't crucify me on that. But he ended up beating a guy in a very tight match, but it was controlled. That's actually ranked in the top. I think he was number 7 for the 57 kilo senior world rankings. So not bad. Pretty good guy to beat. If you're a Penn State fan, you got to be hopeful for Luke Liall. Jumping into some folk style, I think he's not going to redshirt. My opinion is Braden Davis or Aaron Nagao goes 133. My guess, and I've kind of heard this from people.
WrestleStat saying that both of them are going to be at 133. So
yeah, there's a rumor that Nagao was injured, and that's probably why he had not the best season. So he's going to take a medical red shirt this year, or just a red shirt in general to heal up.
Yeah, at the beginning of last season, Nagao had that injury that was under wraps, and then he was he's already returning. So it was all right, so I guess it's not that serious, but
yeah, and it was supposed to be a pretty serious injury, and they were like, well, we'll figure it out. And I think that's why we saw a little bit of regression from him. So what I've kind of heard is that he's going to
regression.
Lose it no.
Not like Drew Hildebrandt,
no, that's different. Drew, it was part of Drew's, it was part of Drew's master plan to help his sister out. I understand. Good, yeah, he's a good brother.
That
He had to
worked.
hit. He had to do it like that.
Yeah, that play.
But my guess, Braden Davis goes 33. Aaron Nagao takes a red shirt to heal up. Luke Liall is the starter at 125. Maybe not immediately, but I think this is a guy that's a very serious title threat at 125. I know freestyle doesn't exactly translate to folk style, but Luke has a ton of folk style accolades as well. There's a reason he's so highly ranked in his recruiting class. And there's a reason that, freestyle is a lot of offense. And with the new 3-point takedown, new for last season, I think that this is a guy that's going to be able to score a lot of points for Penn State. And I'm just really looking forward to how he does. But next up, I was really surprised here. In my mind, Marcus Blaze coming into this 61 kilo, I go gold, 100%.
Yeah.
I was not expecting him to not take gold. It actually blew my mind when he didn't, because this is a guy that, hadn't made it so far in the senior level world team, Olympic team trials for Team USA.
Third at the Olympic trials.
Yeah. And, who does he wrestle? Japan in the semis. And we've talked about it. Japan's men's program is now catching up to their women's team. And it's not even close, frankly. If it wasn't for a last, second kind of takedown, Marcus Blaze would lose 7-0. And fun enough, that was actually the closest match for Japan, who just teched his way through. I mean, I have the bracket up right now. It was 10-0 in under 2 minutes, 11-0 in 70 seconds, 7-2 win over Marcus Blaze, and then a 10-0 tech in 25 seconds in the finals.
Has that guy wrestled at the senior stage? Did you say?
I believe he has. This is a guy that I'm not going to even try to pronounce his first name because I'm so incredibly bad at that. I believe it's Masan Osuki Ono from Japan, who is, a big wrestler to watch. He, if you like following senior level stuff, this is a big name that you should expect to be hearing about in the coming years. What's funny though is this is really, he only has 2 serious, competitions that I know of. He took third at the Senior Asian Championship at 65 kilo in April of this year, 2024. And then he won U20 Worlds at 61 kilo juniors. Dominant.
Maybe he's training with Ray Higuchi.
Totally possible. So that kind of blew my mind, because when I looked at the bracket, I'm like, Marcus Blaze has been so hot. What a dominant guy coming back. There's no one even going to challenge him. And I was just surprised to see him lose. But
yeah, I mean, I definitely was thinking of anyone, like he was definitely one of the guys that was.
Yeah, he was one I felt really confident about.
Then again, had he been on the other side of the bracket, he would have been in the finals and taking silver, I bet.
Yeah, yes. So I mean, it's bronze versus silver, but man, Japan looks great. And we're gonna touch
that Japan.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on some Marcus Blaze news in a little bit, because he didn't just stop at the U20s. He had an exciting weekend pretty recently.
As you like to say, he's a dog.
Duh, man, he's a dog. I think I texted someone that it's the meme of the pit bulls inside someone's lungs, and I was like, another wrestling fan, because they're like, "Oh, you watching Senior Worlds?"
Yeah.
How about that Marcus Blaze? I didn't even respond back with words. I just sent the picture of dog. Next guy up, Bo Basset at 65 kilo. A lot of people love to shit on Bo Basset. I'm a huge fan of him. A lot of people say,
who's number 1 last year?
Yeah, but a lot of people are like, oh, well, he's old for his grade, and that is true. Bo is going to graduate high school at 19.
That's the thing. There's guys that graduate older than that.
That's my point. Is there's guys that graduated. I mean, I think you graduated at 18 or 17.
I graduated. I was 17.
All right, so was my wife. I graduated at 18. My younger brother was almost 19 when he graduated. Just had a late birthday, so we held him back a year.
I started college. I was 18 because I have a summer birthday. But yeah.
Yeah. But again, your parents could have held you a year, and
yeah. So
regardless, Bo will graduate high school at 19, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, what a what a terrible person. And he's a man wrestling children. It's not fair. And then Bo beats like a 26-year-old, and they're like, okay, but it doesn't matter because he's actually 17. He's 18.
He can't win. He can't win. He's not allowed.
So Bo and Jax Forrest, who didn't make the U20 team because of an amazing wrestler called Luke Liall, both just missed the cutoff for U17s because of their birth dates. So if they were born like a week earlier, I think they both would have been able to wrestle U17. Anyway, Bo was one of the younger guys for U20. He did about as I expected. He took bronze.
Japan was the one that
Oh boy. Japan tore him up, dude. So Bo,
not great. Less than a minute.
No. Yeah. So probably the shortest match I've ever seen for Bo. So he loses to Japan.
And Japan doesn't win.
No,
Japan
that's the
up
kicker.
in the finals too.
Japan doesn't even win. So Bo gets taken down and then gut wrenched. And if you're a big fan of American freestyle wrestling, one of my big critiques is our parterre is not good. And I feel like our gut wrench positions are very much an issue. And I've seen this in Greco as well. We're pretty good on our feet, but we have very bad gut defense. And
well, yeah, we train so much that if we ever get taken down, then the match is over.
So yeah, never clasp too. Like it's this huge thing. Like don't clasp. So it's a little different for us. Bo bounces back well. He loses in the semis to Japan, who gets teched in 45 seconds. Funny enough, just like Mike mentioned, Japan doesn't even win. He loses to Iran 10-2 in the finals, and then Bo bounces back pretty dang well, I would say, with a 10-0 tech in 2 minutes 19 seconds over
top seeded guy.
Yeah, over the number one from Georgia. So, I think the future is bright for him. I believe he has 2 more years of U20 eligibility. Mm-hmm. So super great for him. This one, 70 kilos. I'm still mad about this. PJ Duke got hosed. Yeah. Absolutely hosed. And I try not to be profane because I know we have like some people that are younger that watch this. But man, this guy from individual neutral athlete is a 4-letter word. And he's a punk. He is as soft as they come. And this right here, this is why I hate freestyle wrestling. And I love freestyle wrestling.
Isn't this the match where he hit a 4-point move and they called it 0 points?
On top of that, the guy there's unlimited injury time.
Oh yeah, that too.
Freestyle. Yeah. So he took 3 injury times where all he was doing was just getting his lungs back. He's laying on the ground. He goes, "Oh, my ankle, no, now." And the trainer comes. He goes, "Now it's my knee. It's my shoulder." And PJ's waiting. He's like, "Come on, let's go," because Americans actually are tough and other countries aren't. And so
you keep going.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna rant in a second. So I'm watching this and I'm like, there has to be someone that steps in. And I see KD in the corner, Coach Desan, just losing his mind. And he's jumping, he's going, he's pointing, he's like, let's, yeah. And PJ's like, what can we do about it? So apparently, if you have bad conditioning, you could just take as much injury time as you want, and they'll never penalize you. In my opinion, and this is one of the things I would change about freestyle and Greco, if you take injury twice, you're disqualified.
What's it
called? Because if you're so hurt that you have to take 2 injury times, you can't wrestle. Sorry, bud.
Askren was saying, I watched Askren saying something very similar to that, where he was like, you get the first one's free. Yeah, if you're injured, you get that one. That's a free. But if you go back and you decide to wrestle with that whatever injury, he's like, there should be something, some kind of penalty. He didn't like suggest what the penalty was, but like it was like, no, that's a really reasonable point. Like, yeah, okay, the first one maybe like, oh yeah, that I needed a second, but I'm good. But it should be limited in some capacity.
But yeah, no, what is there to stop wrestlers from just taking as much injury time as they want and getting as much air back? And it's right now,
a strategy. Like, I'm tired, I need a break. My finger hurts.
So, but yeah, PJ with 6 seconds left, he's down 4-5, and he hits a 4-point throw, and they go, actually, you stepped out of bounds. So it's a one. It's one. You're now tied 5-5. And it was always, my belief that continuation is a thing in freestyle, where it's like, okay, if I take my shot in the middle of the mat and I run my feet, for a mile and I finish that takedown through the table, it's still two. So I don't know what happened here, and
Yeah,
maybe
that's like with Chance Marsteller and Burroughs when Marsteller beat him, like with that, like he stopped Burroughs and then launched him.
Mhm.
Sounds like they would have called that very differently.
Yeah. And so if you have, PJ's like, okay, 6 seconds left, it's tied 5-5 on criteria. I'm gonna get after it. What do you think happens? Injury time.
Well, what else would happen? I mean, come
And
on.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. So the guy from from his whatever neutral country he's from, uh,
Individual.
yeah, he makes it to the finals over PJ Duke, and he loses in the finals to Japan. Heck yeah, 6-0 because you can't just take breaks all the time. And he got out wrestled, but PJ bounces back for bronze. He wins a pretty convincing 18-7 match by Tech for bronze, and it sucks. It's a learning lesson for some of these guys that no matter how hard you work, other countries are just going to be little girls and not play fair and cry about it, and they're going to celebrate. I mean, when the guy won over PJ Duke, he like suddenly he's all fine again. He's just pumping his fist. He's cheering to the crowd. He's pointing. It's like, dude, you just laid on your back for more than for the majority of the match. Like, come on.
Yeah, but I'm the winner.
Yeah, and he was a world finalist, and that sucked because I thought PJ Duke could have been a world champion.
not world champ, but yeah, I'm a world finalist.
But anyway, PJ Duke, like Marcus Blaze, is a dog, and he didn't just rest on his, oh man, it sucks, blah blah. He took the next best thing, and he wrestled at some senior level events pretty soon, and we'll cover that very very shortly. D Lockett, this guy is going to be phenomenal. He finds new ways to get better. I know some people thought that he should have taken gold. I actually wasn't sure he was going to place.
It was 3-3 in the finals. Like,
Yeah.
should have taken gold. I mean, yeah, he arguably should have. You're right there.
He wrestled like his bracket. I know Flo predicted he wouldn't place. And looking at the bracket, I was like, okay, maybe he takes a fifth. He could take a bronze. It's a tough bracket. But he just crushes it. I mean, he beats really, really talented guys to make the finals, and he loses 3-3 on criteria. And hey, criteria sucks. We know that. It's always not good.
He was pretty dominant. He like pinned
he wrestled great.
6-0, Tech, then 3-1 in the semis, and then 3-3 in the final. Like that's
he wrestled great. Like he really. My big knock on Lockett last year was that he had a tough time with conditioning, and I feel like he's kind of worked his way through that. And my goodness, I think he's going to be a real big asset to Oklahoma State.
So you think maybe David Taylor's already putting his little
feelers in him?
Yeah. Put some pearls of wisdom. Despite
yeah, I'd like to think so. I mean, I was surprised that Lockett is not staying at 74 kilo for the season. He's going up a little bit to I believe 175, so up about 10 pounds.
Oh, so 174?
Well, no. He's got one more year of high school eligibility.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's gonna be he's a senior now.
Right.
But as far continuing on with college guys, Zach Ryder for the first time, Penn State commit, makes the world finals for his first time in his career. Back-to-back bronze. This time he takes a silver. Very happy for Zach because I kind of thought he was going to be bronze for life. But,
bronze for life.
Gets a good win in the semis.
Over the independent neutral athlete?
Yeah. Falls to Turkmenistan, 5-0 in the finals. But again, a bit of a younger U20 guy. This guy, he's going to be able to go U20s at least one more time. So, looking forward to his career. 86 kilo, Josh Barr, another Penn State guy. I think he's going to be the Penn State starter at 197 this year. If Carter wasn't returning, he'd probably go 184 just because I think it's going to be a little bit closer for him. I think he might be a little undersized at 97. But great for Josh Barr to make the world finals. Really, really dominant up until he made the finals.
It was,
he went
sort of competitive match.
Well, yeah, but he went 41-second tech, minute 43 tech, 2-minute 49 tech. Didn't give him a single point until the finals, and then loses 8-2. It is what it is. I think that freestyle is awesome, but I want to see Josh Barr as a great folk style wrestler, and I think he's going to do very well for Penn State. My prediction is he's their starter at 197 this year, and next season he's going to go down to 184.
Reasonable.
Yeah. 92 kilo, another interesting spot with Cole Mirasola, or was it Cole? No, Connor Mirasola. Yeah, Connor Mirasola.
Think Cole would have done better?
I have no idea. I honestly can't tell them apart too much. Connor kind of got screwed at the end. So this happens to Americans. It's sometimes tough to wrestle two guys, the ref and your opponent. But Connor makes the semis, doing well. He's up 4-4 with he's up 4-3 with 57 seconds left. And then with 5 seconds left, they warn him for fleeing. And so it's a caution in one, and now he's up 4-4 with less than 5 seconds. And the match restarts, and they hit him immediately again. They go, that's fleeing. That's another point. He loses 5-4.
Isn't he just circling in the center too?
He literally had his back to the center.
Like
the guy was driving because he was trying to get a push out. Connor circled back to the center. He wasn't running. He could have been in contact more, but it was pretty egregious. I think PJ Duke and Connor
call that fleeing if you're actively staying in the center of the mat.
Yeah, and hand fighting. Like I said, it sucks. And then what sucks more about that is he didn't even place after that. He ends up losing to Azerbaijan 6-2 for third, and he was their only non-medalist.
Of all the guys to not medal, I would have picked him.
Yeah. And then looking at, again, I think he's going to redshirt for Penn State. He's going to be great. I think next season he goes 97 and Josh Barr goes 84. And I think they're going to have a very good group there. Another young Wisconsin guy. Thank you, Ben Askren.
What about Cochran?
Good question. And then at 97 kilo, Justin Rademacher did a great job making the semis. Comes back, takes third. Really, really good 10-0 for third. Really right for Oregon State.
Yeah. Had a closer match with the champ than the finalist did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, rounding out 125 for U20s was Big Ben Keer. And I wasn't sure how he would do.
Didn't you? I thought you thought he was going to win it.
No, I didn't think he would win it because, Masumi from Iran is there, and he's very, very tough. I thought there was a chance for him to be a silver medalist. It's just you don't know how good Ben could be because you've never really seen him fully commit to wrestling. It's always been wrestling, football, wrestling. And so, seeing him go all in, it really gives you an idea of how good he can be because he was undersized and he still was very competitive.
That's kind of like Feldman seemed like he might have been undersized at heavyweight this past year, and yet.
Yeah. I think we're seeing more and more, we're seeing smaller and smaller heavyweights every year, I feel like, that are just super athletes.
So let's make a light heavyweight division, and
they have it in a college club wrestling. I don't know why it's not a Division I wrestling thing, but anyway. Ben wins 7-0 in his first match, pins the guy in 27 seconds in his second, 13-3 tech in 4.5 minutes in his third, giving up the first points he's had all tournament, and then goes 4-2 with Masumi from Iran, who is really, honestly, like, if you don't know who this guy is yet, be on the radar because he is going to be taking over senior level. I'm going to pull up his name so I can tell you just some of his like accomplishments because this guy wins everywhere he goes.
Who's Iran's current senior level heavyweight? Was it was it the one that just retired? Taha?
Yeah.
No, that's Turkey.
No. It's Zare.
Oh, but he's still young.
Yeah, but I think that this is.
You think he's gonna beat Zare out?
I think they're pretty competitive.
Yeah.
So
But Zare just apologized to his country for taking silver.
yeah, he did. That was nice of him.
That was nice of him.
So here's what Masumi's done so far. So keep in mind he just turned 20 3 days ago. So he was 19 during the U20 Worlds. He has won the Yazar Dogu senior level tournament at 125. He won the U23 World Championships when he was 17. He won he's a 3-time back-to-back-to-back U20 World Championship, winning a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and 19-year-old, and then also won the Cadet World Championship when he was 16. He's never taken. Oh, he did take a silver once in the World Cup in 2022 for the team. Iran took second. He didn't do bad. Iran took second.
He didn't do bad. His country.
So this is a guy that be on the lookout for this gentleman. He is a force.
Sounds like he's a meat.
Yeah, and the fact that Ben Keer was 4-2 with him just speaks volumes to how talented Ben could be. And there was rumors that Masumi was wrestling with a broken hand, and that played an impact. But you don't know for sure. And as we saw with Carter.
Yeah, that's like rumors. Carter was wrestling with a broken leg.
Yeah. So really exciting time to be a college wrestling fan when you have so many great young prospects. I mean, look at just Luke Liall, Josh Barr, Zach Ryder, PJ Duke for Penn State, and there's reason to believe that Bo Basset or even Marcus Blaze could commit there in the future. But you also have guys like D. Lockett for Oklahoma State that are building a great program through David Taylor. Ben Keer is going to definitely take a big improvement over what he did last year for Iowa. Justin Rademacher, going to be huge for Oregon State. I mean, I didn't mention Connor Mirasola for Penn State, but
well, he's the one guy medalist, so
yeah. But just a lot of talent. And what's crazy is most of these guys are going to be on the team again next year. So,
well, that's
very exciting.
Guys like Marcus Blaze don't make the senior level team and choose to skip it.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.